Hello everybody, welcome to our tutorial on how to teach on Zoom. So if you have a Microteach booked in, we'd recommend you watch this beforehand, especially if you're new to Zoom. This is going to have some tips that's going to help you get your Microteach put together. We're going to be going through how to share your screen on Zoom, the different video and audio settings you can use, how to share a video. We're going to look at ways to undertake ground rules and icebreakers, how you can use breakout rooms, chatting to other delegates, how to share documents if you need to, and how to use reactions as well. The first thing you're going to need to do is download a Zoom account. This is really, really important. It's really easy to do, so you can just go onto your browser and visit www.zoom.com. You can sign up for a free account. You will not need the paid one for your Microteach. The third step, really important in this one, make sure if you can download the Zoom desktop application. When you have the Zoom desktop application, there'll be a lot of features there that aren't available on the online platform. So we really recommend downloading the desktop application if you can. First thing we're going to look at. So this is going to be really important if you are going to be sharing a PowerPoint with the rest of your learners. So how to share your screen. Okey-dokey. It is quite easy to do, and it is made a lot easier again if you have downloaded the desktop application of Zoom. But when you open up Zoom, you'll see there's a big button at the bottom there that says Share Screen. We're going to click that. That will open up an internal window, and it will give you options of which screen you want to share. Okay, so if you have your PowerPoint open, you will see your PowerPoint open into one of these windows here. Okey-dokey. Really important, if you're going to be sharing a video, perhaps you have sound or video embedded into your PowerPoint, it's really important that you click Share Sound. Okey-dokey, because that way the video will play, the audio will be heard by all of your learners. You do have some other options here in the top right corner. When you go to share your screen, you can choose to have yourself as part of the display. You can have yourself next to the display. If you just don't select any of those, you'll just appear as the text box next to the display, which is what we'd normally recommend. If you're looking to share a video, it's the same process. We're going to click share, and then again, find the file or YouTube link. We're going to copy and paste that. And then again, that should appear in your Zoom screen. Okey-dokey. Another option, if you are finding this too technical, slightly easier option is just to find the video link that you want to share with your learners. For example, if it is a link to a YouTube video, you can then put that into the chat function, and then learners can just click on that. So just instruct your learners to follow the link and watch the video as you go through. Please bear in mind, if you are doing this option, though, that YouTube will have ads at the beginning of each video. So just bear that in mind. Obviously, the ads might not be relevant to what you're teaching, and that is going to also eat into your 15 minutes allocated for your Microteach as well. So please just bear that in mind. So how to check your sound and on your microphone on Zoom. So when you first log into Zoom, when you first join a call, we'd recommend before the session, before the Microteach session, just creating a dummy call anyway. You can create a call on Zoom without actually having to physically call somebody. It's a really good idea just to get used to all the features. On the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you'll see a little microphone button. So if you just click that, you can select test speaker and microphone. This will give you an option to test that your speaker is working, and it will do a microphone test for you as well. Okay, so really important that you get these checked before you deliver your Microteach. So ground rules, we always recommend trying to go through ground rules at the beginning of your Microteach session. It's going to be a really good way to help promote inclusion, and just it's going to mean that your Microteach is going to run really smoothly, and the learners are going to get the most from it. So the ways you can do ground rules, there's a few ways to do that. You can just go around the group and then get everybody to explain what they are verbally. It's probably the easiest way to do it. And some ground rules that you might want to think about if you are on Zoom. Really important one is we recommend everybody keeps their video on at all times, just to help promote interaction with you and your learners. You can maybe talk about the mobile phones policy. If you just say everybody, please have your phones on silent. If you need to make a call, just pop off the Zoom call for a moment. Maybe talk about the course schedule, and you could talk about how learners are going to ask questions. You might want to say you can use the raising hand function on Zoom if you want to ask questions, or you can just raise your hand physically if you want to. So icebreakers, again, alongside ground rules. So we would always recommend undertaking an icebreaker or initial assessment at the beginning of your Microteach. It's going to ease both yourself and your learners into the lesson. And the reason we do initial assessments is just to find out more information about your learners, okay? So we want to know what their past experience is in the topic that you're teaching, to see if you need to tailor your teaching in any way. It is important when you're doing an icebreaker just to make sure that you're not spending too much time on it, especially just remember you only have 15 minutes. You don't want to spend 6-7 minutes of that just on your initial assessment and your icebreaker. Some icebreaker examples, the most easiest and simple one that's not going to take too much time is just going to be your name, getting the learners to state their name and explaining their previous knowledge in the subject that you're going to be teaching. This is what the vast majority of learners do on their Microteach. Additional icebreakers you might want to think about. So maybe you could get the learners to say an interesting fact about themselves, the reason that they're doing the level 3 award in education and training, what they're going to be teaching in the future. You could maybe also have a background discussion, which can be done virtually as well. So breakout rooms. So breakout rooms are a really great way to promote engagement and just to undertake some paired work within your learners. So don't feel like you have to create a breakout room. Again, remember you only have 15 minutes. So creating a breakout room within 15 minutes can sometimes be challenging. It is definitely something that we'd recommend practicing beforehand. So breakout rooms are quite easy to do. Again, you're going to find it when you open up the Zoom page. There is a little button that you can click that says breakout rooms. You can assign your learners to breakout rooms automatically. So if you have, for example, 5 other learners on your session, you could maybe have one breakout room with 2 learners in it and one breakout room with 3 learners in it. Okay, or you can assign your breakout rooms manually. We wouldn't recommend letting the participants choose because that's just going to take too much time. Obviously, we only have 15 minutes. It's really important that when you are creating your breakout rooms that you put a timer on these. So, you can also pop into the breakout rooms yourself just to see how learners are going, just to make sure they're actually staying on topic. You can also return the learners to the main teaching room when you feel like the breakout room session has finished. So how you can chat to delegates on Zoom. So this is a function that is going to be used the majority of learners on our Microteachers do use this function. It's a good way to maybe share quiz questions with delegates, or maybe you can ask delegates quiz questions verbally and they can write their answers in the chat. It's a really inclusive way of doing an assessment. You can also do private chats with learners, or the main one that you'll find on there initially is just going to be a group chat. You can also share documents. Maybe you want to share documents about further information about your course. Using the chat is a really good way of doing that as well. So again, when you're using the chat function, you'll see there's a little icon that says file. If you click on this, you can attach any file from your computer and share that with your learners. So the reactions element on Zoom, some learners might ask you when they're presenting their Microteach, they might ask you to raise your hand if you want to ask a question. So again, it is really simple to find where these reactions are. There is a little icon at the bottom. It says reactions. You're going to click on that and you have a wide range to choose from. Okie dokie. Again, if you want to get answers from specific people, or you want people to raise their hand if they want to answer a question, using the reactions icon is a really good way of doing that. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please give the office a call if you have any questions about putting your Microteach together or teaching on Zoom again, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.